The sun blazed down on the dusty Australian trail, birds chirping lazily in the distance. Jessica adjusted her sunglasses and sighed dramatically. "Wow, wilderness," she muttered, raising her phone for another selfie. Behind her, a bright yellow sign read, "Beware of kangaroos, do not approach." She smirked. "Okay, Steve Irwin." Click, peace sign, #adventurer. The path ahead was quiet, empty, almost boring. She popped in her earbuds and kept jogging, her ponytail bouncing with each step. But then, thud. A heavy sound echoed behind her. She paused, pulled out one earbud. Thud, thud, thud. Jessica turned and froze. A massive kangaroo barreled out of the trees, muscles rippling, eyes locked on her. Oh no. Before she could think, instinct took over. She ran. Before we dive into this unbelievable story, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe. It really helps us bring you more incredible stories like this one. Jessica's breath came in sharp gasps as her feet pounded the dusty trail. The kangaroo's thundering footsteps grew louder, closer, unstoppable. She sprinted faster, heart slamming against her ribs. Branches whipped her arms, pebbles scattered underfoot. "Are you kidding me right now?" she shouted between ragged breaths. She dared a glance back. The kangaroo was still coming, ears pinned, eyes fierce. Jessica's chest burned, her legs screamed. She cut left off the trail, crashing through brush and low-hanging limbs. But the pounding never stopped. Her breath hitched, her vision blurred. This wasn't a joke, this was real. She stumbled, caught herself, and kept running. Then, suddenly, the sound stopped. Dead silence. Jessica skidded to a halt, gasping, chest heaving. She turned around, heart racing. The kangaroo had stopped, standing perfectly still, staring into the dense bushes beside the trail. Confused, trembling, Jessica followed its gaze. The world felt eerily still. Jessica wiped sweat from her brow, her breath sharp and uneven. The kangaroo didn't move. It just stared into the brush, ears flicking, body tense. Jessica took a hesitant step closer. Branches rustled softly. She squinted, and her heart dropped. There, tangled in cruel strands of wire, was a tiny joey. Its little legs kicked weakly. A soft, strained squeak barely escaped its mouth. Jessica's throat tightened. All this time, she thought she was being chased. But this mother, she wasn't attacking. She was pleading. Jessica slowly lowered herself to the ground. Tears pricked her eyes. "Oh, Mama, you were trying to show me." The kangaroo turned its gaze to her. Not angry, not wild, just desperate. Jessica crawled forward, heart pounding for a different reason now. "It's okay," she whispered. "I'm here." Jessica reached the fence, hands shaking. The tiny joey struggled weakly, its soft fur snagged in rusted wire. "Shh, it's okay, little one," she whispered, her voice trembling. She gently pried the wire apart, careful not to pull too hard. The joey whimpered, tiny paws twitching. Behind her, the mother kangaroo stayed still, watching, guarding, trusting. Jessica's fingers bled from the sharp edges, but she didn't stop. "Come on, just a little more." The joey gave a final kick, slipping free into her hands, warm and fragile. Jessica cradled it in her jacket, holding it close to her chest. Slowly, she turned and met the mother's eyes. For a long, breathless moment, they simply looked at each other. Two mothers in their own way, connected by instinct. Jessica gently placed the joey down. The mother kangaroo hopped forward, nuzzling her baby with tender care. Then she looked up at Jessica one last time. A silent thank you. Jessica sat back on the dusty ground, heart still pounding, but now full. The mother kangaroo gently lifted her joey, nudging it with her nose. With one last glance at Jessica, they both disappeared into the brush, safe. Jessica exhaled shakily, wiping dirt and tears from her face. Her phone buzzed in her pocket. She pulled it out, staring at the last smug selfie she'd taken by the warning sign. She shook her head and laughed. Not out of arrogance this time, but disbelief. Weeks later, that selfie never made it to Instagram. Instead, Jessica shared the real story. No filters, no poses. Thousands of people responded with awe, encouragement, and gratitude. And on her next run down that same trail, she stopped at the yellow sign. No more eye rolls, no jokes, just quiet respect. Because sometimes nature doesn't chase to harm, it chases for help. What would you have done if you heard those thundering footsteps behind you? Have you ever had a moment where nature surprised you in a way you never expected? We'd love to hear your stories. Drop them in the comments below. And if this video touched you, please give it a like, leave a comment, and hit that subscribe button. It really helps us create more amazing stories just like this one. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.